up? It's Sabrina Carpenter with Mikey on the Random 30.
Anyway, we won't sit at our same old table, I promise. And we won't bring up the past, we'll keep it bureaucratic. And we won't say it, but both.
Sabrina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Now, where are you? You in LA at the moment?
I am in LA at the moment, which has been a change. I've been on the East Coast for a while, so back in LA is strange, but it's good.
What have you been doing on the East Coast?
I've been doing a lot. It's just kind of been like a mix of a lot of things right now with music and with making the record. I kind of have been making a lot of the record there, and also just was in LA for a really long time, and then kind of went and filmed a couple movies, and I was just like, I'm gonna spend the summer in New York, and that's what I did. And so yeah, creatively very fulfilling and magical.
That's so cool. I'm glad you said you've been doing a lot, because looking at your bio, I'm like, is there anything on this list that you don't do? What is it that you don't do?
I don't play sports very well.
Yeah, same. I ain't got time for that.
Well, I mean, I also don't really have time to play sports, but even if I did, I would still not be playing them very well.
Yeah. If you did have to play a sport though, what would you take up?
I would love to say basketball if I wasn't 5'0" nothing. And then if not basketball, I'd probably say soccer.
Yeah.
It's just like kicking things, which I think is self-explanatory. Like I did it as a child quite a bit. So
It's just running around kicking a ball and
yeah.
So easy.
It seems fun. I say it's easy, and then I'm like watching
the two non-sporty people going, yeah, it's easy.
We're like, oh my god, that looks easy, bro.
I love it. I love it. Hey, we'll talk about skinny dipping. It's an epic new thing. Let me talk about your career in general, because like I said, is there anything that you don't do? A singer, songwriter, actress, designer, producer, even hitting up Broadway back in March. You debuted on the Broadway in Mean Girls. Tell me about all that, because that's cool.
It's very cool. I wish I could have done it longer. But you know, life happens. Pandemics happen, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, first one for me, but definitely they happen. Now we know. No, I mean, I've just been so fortunate. I've had a lot of passions ever since I was a little girl, and you know, I don't know how I got so lucky to be able to bring them all into my life and my world, but I'm constantly always just trying to tell honest stories, through whatever format that may be. Music was always, you know, my first love, and songwriting is the thing that I never stopped doing, because I just take it with me everywhere. But no, I mean, I'm having a great time, and there's so many things that I'm working on that I'm so excited about. And people say that all the time, and I hate it, because I'm like, what are the things? I can't say what they are, because you know, you'll find out. But my fans are really good. They're super patient, and I think it'll be worth it when they see.
It started for you, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in Disney. Is that how your entertainment career started? Was it actually in Disney?
Yes and no. I guess I was working with other networks before Disney.
Right.
But I think Disney was just sort of like the first role that sort of, I don't want to say exploded, but definitely was kind of a fan favorite. And so from then on, you know, I worked with them for a few of my young teenage years, and then went on to do other things that I'm excited about. And, you know, I think it definitely was like a really amazing playground for me as a child to be able to have that creativity. And I was like always that kid that was like, I want to do the thingy. So I did the thingy.
The thingy.
Yeah, that's an amazing accomplishment. Like when you're 10 and you're like, I want to do something, and then you're able to do it. Like it makes you feel like anything's possible.
And what was that moment like when you were 10, and even when you were, say, 7 and 8, and you were thinking about wanting to do in the performing arts? What were you thinking, and what was it that made you go, I'm going to do this? This is what's going to happen. So what do you have, like maybe an entertaining family? Are they all involved in it, or?
My aunt is involved in like a side of the entertainment industry, more of the animation side of things. But truthfully, I was just a relentless little girl that loved singing and dancing and acting. And I had no idea how I was gonna do it, because I lived in the middle of the woods in Pennsylvania, which was like, there was no sign of Hollywood nearby. And so I'm just really lucky that my parents had the blind faith, and I had the blind faith. And, you know, I also just was, good at handling rejection then, which is, a huge part of it, I think. When you're young, like people telling you no, you're just like, okay, well, next thing,
Yes.
I think that there's something really, really special about that. But I remember watching The Wizard of Oz and that being like the first movie that I saw where I was like, wow, like I want to make things like that in this world. And being raised on like just the most versatile music in my family. Like music was just always around me. So no, like my mom's in like health, my dad's in like technology stuff. So so yeah, I don't know. I love an emotion, I guess.
So you're healthy and you're great with technology, so that's good, and you can do everything else.
I wouldn't say I'm good with technology, maybe healthy. I don't know.
As you bite into a chocolate.
Yeah, I know. It depends on the day, but very grateful that my spine is pretty aligned.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Now in music world, if we take away the Broadway and take away that stuff, in the music world, how did you get into the singing side of things? Was it again through the same thing, or did you have a mixed bag of going, well, I want to do, the Broadway and I want to be on stage, but I also want to sing and songwrite as well?
No, actually, I mean, songwriting was the thing that came first because that was the
Oh,
thing.
right.
It was the most accessible thing that I could do from my bedroom as like a little girl, So I was just always sort of writing, and then the love of performing and wanting to perform, I think, honestly came from watching Hannah Montana. I was
Yeah.
obsessed with that show, and I was a huge Miley fan, and so I just remember like being like, I want to act and sing and do all the things. But truly, like, yeah, I mean, music came first. I signed with my label when I was 12, which is wild.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, that's something I literally don't even remember doing, which is crazy. Like, I mean, that's how young I was.
I
But I
don't
think,
remember what I did 5 minutes ago, let alone worrying about what I did at 12.
yeah, but I mean, I'm so grateful and so lucky that I
Yeah.
was able to, start doing what I love at a young age, and then just like really finding my voice. Which, even now I sometimes am like, okay, I'm still finding my voice. And I
Yeah.
think it's really great to always be growing, always be evolving.
And I think it's important to own that too, no matter what how long you've been in the career. You're always learning every single day. You're learning to make it better and not like to be stale as such, and just here I am and okay, whatever. And
Doing
it's
what works, or doing what
yeah,
things that you're like, comfortable doing. I think
yeah.
there's, I'm in my like early 20s, and so I think there's like a lot less tolerance for BS, and I do think that there's something really cool about that, like when you're creating things, because you're just like, oh, like people will have opinions about things. That's just like how life is. But I think it's like important to honestly make it for you, and if it's helping you, then fingers crossed it helps someone else and finds the people it needs to.
You can try to get on the skin. He's on mine, yeah, on the
When you were 12 years of age, this is when you were starting to write, yeah? Like you were writing music at the age of 12?
Yeah,
Or
I
just
technically
singing a
started
little bit?
at 10, but I was not good at writing when I was 10. I was writing songs that I was just like, I don't know. These songs will never like come out. I just was always doing
Why
it.
not?
I don't know. Well, because at the time they weren't great, but I think even in school, like writing English was always sort of like my favorite subject. So I think I just thought like, oh, like in my spare time, like I'm gonna start my first record now, and I was like 10. So
And what are you writing about at 10? Like, were you writing about school friends? Maybe, I don't know, the boyfriends when you were 10? I don't know. What are we writing about?
no, I was single when I was 10. But I remember my first song I ever wrote. I think I said this somewhere at some point, but it was called Lights. And it was about wanting to like perform and like tour and be on the stage, and like it was like as simple as that, as stupid as that. Like it was just like, yeah, it was not a good song, but you start somewhere.
But I mean, you said it's not a good song, but surely that's a part of your life, though. And you might think it's not a good song, but would you want to maybe go back and grab the lyrics and release it because that's part of your life and it's the story of your life and you're sharing that?
Maybe in the dark, but definitely not on my Spotify or Apple Music.
All right, well, we'll mark that one out. That one won't be happening. Oh wow! Hey, let's.
A lot of my history and a lot of my like past was documented on my YouTube because I started posting covers when I was like very young, and so a lot of those memories unfortunately live there. But it is like a signifier of like how young I was when I started like loving music and all different kinds of artists. So there's still proof. There's still.
Who were you listening to, and who were you? Who were you
Weirdly
looking up to?
Like Adele,
Oh
Christina
yes.
Aguilera, Taylor Swift, and my parents had me listening to like Ozzy Osbourne and Sinead O'Connor and Etta
Wow.
James. So the list is versatile.
It's such a variety of different styles of music to grow up and listen to.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a smorgasbord.
How did you know which style you wanted? Like where were you kind of, I mean, you know, Aussie, and then you go to Sinead, and then you got Adele. Where do you
Yeah.
kind of go, all right, I'm gonna go this angle with my music?
Interesting question. I don't know if when I was young I ever thought about that. I think I was just like I saw music as this like broad like all these artists have gone through stages and eras of their life where like these each record is a little bit different obviously because
Yeah.
they're experiencing different chapters. So I think I always saw it from that, just being like, wow, I can't wait to tell my stories and my chapters and have it be different, you know.
This is why I think that song from When You Were 10 should come out anyway.
Let's talk about it. I'll re-record it.
Hey, let's talk about skinny dipping. I love the video on the boat. It looks very cool. A very, very cool track. Skinny dipping. Now, I don't know if this is an American thing, but in Australia, it's an adult thing. Are we talking about skinny dipping that could mean what it means in Australia? Do you know what it means?
Swimming ass
So
naked.
skinny, yes.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think it means the same thing here. It's very metaphorical in the song if you didn't gather that from listening, but definitely means the same thing in America. And
So are you right? Are you singing about that?
I feel like everyone at one, but it's so funny too, because I think initially I was going to call the song something else. And then I just felt like skinny dipping was like an interesting title for the song because like the way that you feel when you're skinny dipping is almost the way that you want to feel when you get older and you can like reflect on your past and like be okay with everything and, you know, accept and let go. So yeah.
I've kind of put you on the spot now, haven't I?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've already been asked if I like have been skinny dipping, and I actually said frequently, and then I got mixed reviews on that because I guess it's not something that people or no. Sorry, I have to say that because like I think
So have you?
I have. Have you?
No.
No, never.
This is built for comfort, not for speed. No.
It's not even about speed. It's about existing in the comfort of your skin and living and vibe. No, not that word. Oh my god. Just vibing is what I'm saying.
Wow.
It's come time to retire, I believe.
Wow, I look forward to the second song now.
Holy shit, what's so funny is like now thinking about the title of the next song after that, you'll laugh. Just
okay, come on. Can you tell me? Come on. Oh wow, this conversation's gone. Here's gone.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you got to have a laugh. You got to have a laugh. With the new single, Skinny Dipping, is out right now. Sabrina Carpenter, thanks so much for hanging. You're absolutely amazing.
Thanks, Mikey. So are you. I hope I get to see you in person soon. I hope everyone's staying safe.